October the 21st, 2024.
Kathy,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Elizabeth, CL,
Yes.
Cecil.
Here. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Before you are the minutes of September the 16th, 2024. Is there any questions on the September 16th minutes? If there's no questions, do we have a motion to accept those minutes?
I'll make the motion.
I second it.
Motion's been made and seconded.
Kathy,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Elizabeth, CL,
Yes.
Cecil.
Yes.
On our agenda is approval for our Christmas or holiday bonus. We always give it in November, because that's a better time for the bonus. The amount of $250. Do I have a motion to approve the Christmas bonus of $250 that will be given out the week of Thanksgiving?
I'll make the motion.
Motion's been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and second.
You just do everything.
Kathy,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Elizabeth, Cecil,
Yes.
CL.
Yes.
All right. That is all that is on our agenda for this council meeting. We do have one person in our audience. Would you like to public?
Sure.
Yes. Just state your name and
I'm Bill Allen. I've come to several meetings. I was very involved with the biosolids and protesting and all that, trying to finally, hopefully got them shut down for good. But I did want to say, I know I always didn't see eye to eye with everything with the city government here, but I do want to take the time to thank you guys for your service. Because I know it's a hard job. It probably goes, not a lot of reward in it, not a lot of praise in it. So you're doing something that's a difficult job, and I understand we might have a changing of the city council in the near future, but for everything you've done over these last couple of years, I just wanted to say thank you. Appreciate it.
we appreciate that very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, the only thing I got to say on that, I always got to say something. But say that wasn't in the city. Their land was outside the city.
That's what I
And it's the
understand.
reason we couldn't have an opinion on it.
I understand.
And so I just wanted to kind of clarify that.
But I still thank you for everything you guys have done over the years. It's a lot of work and it's a lot of time. It's off time and it's something that goes unappreciated, but a lot of people do appreciate what you did over
Well,
the
that means a lot coming from
Yeah.
from you. I appreciate that. All right, if there's no other discussion, do I have a motion to adjourn? Or is there any more?
No,
No? Okay, is there a discussion?
my tree is still rotten up there for Newtown Hill. It's gonna fall on the road, how am I gonna get out of my
Okay,
settlement up there?
they're not sure which one he's talking about.
Okay.
So somebody needs to
It's,
meet one of them.
It's
the
right.
pipe that goes under the road, carries the water. Right when the water comes out, there's a tree out there rotting, and
And
it's
it
bad
is
too.
rotten, and it started leaning.
Started to
We
lean,
may
it's
have to
rotten.
meet you down there.
Well, I'll be glad to.
How hard is it to crank a chainsaw? I've got one, I can lay it on the
Well, I
ground.
think the problem is they don't know exactly where you're talking about. So if you will meet them one day and show them exactly where
Well,
you're
you
talking
can't
We'll
get
about.
go up there and watch the water come out of the pipe,
Well,
And you can see the
and
trees. got
the
big
tree's
hole
right
in it.
there.
well, that would be multiple places on First and Second and Third
No.
Street.
Before you go up Second and Third.
They've not done any mowing on either street.
No.
All right, well, you will make a note
Could
of
be
that.
on private property too. I've gone there to look, try to identify the tree that you're talking about. And if it's the one that's on the left, right beside the spring, that could be on someone's property.
No,
The
this
city might not have
is
the
right at
to
the
cut.
pipe. And it's rotten, it's coming down, and then the
The
kids
city's
ride
got a
their
right of
bicycle down
way
there.
so far over there.
It's
And I
on-
think it'll go
It's
in,
on the city right away.
I think it's on the city right of way. And, you know,
I've tried to figure out where y'all are talking about too. I've literally driven through there 2 or 3 times to see.
well,
I
if you
can
go
figure
up
the
there
tree.
and you hang a left to go up Second Street,
Okay.
stop right there, and that tree's right there, and that little old creek right there, branch.
Oh, I
And-
thought he was towing up next to his house.
No, it's right there at the foot of the hill.
Right, yeah, it's the tree that's rotten.
Yeah, it's rotten up there, and,
Well,
and
Because he says
it's just
everybody's
gonna
house.
cause
Yeah.
a problem.
You'll be cut?
No, we,
Well, I'll hook onto it and drag it up to the dump.
well, have them meet with one of these gentlemen to make sure that that's the right tree that needs to be cut. Okay, anything else we need to discuss? Besides the tree and the yard and
The trailer
the,
that you let get in up there on top of Cemetery Hill.
Did he, ever go over and check it?
mhm.
Barry?
He's had the permit for over a year.
Well, I know he's had the permit.
What's,
But-
what does it got to do with the trailer?
It
The permit.
was,
That was a trailer when he backed it in there. Had a tongue and everything on it. How'd they move it?
I
That
know
was a
it's
trailer.
the
It had wheels
foundation.
on it.
I don't
Now,
know.
I'm blind, but not that blind.
but the only thing that I got to say about it is that did he take out the permits for that before the ordinance was we would not let no single trailers
It was
be,
before tiny homes.
you know, we had an ordinance. I don't know, it wasn't even done on
It is a
this.
storage building. It was permitted as a,
It's considered a house. He's already talked to the lawyer and there's nothing we can do.
It was before tiny
Well,
homes.
now, I don't wanna take his word for it.
Oh, I
And
can,
him and his lawyer,
it's been 2 years.
yeah.
because if it's a storage building,
What are you living in?
I mean, when he moved that first one in there, he went in there and studied up all the walls, run the electrical and plumbing in it, done the insulation, put the drywall on it, cause I stood there and looked at it and talked to him about it. Then he moved this in there. And to keep the historic thing of Cemetery Hill, Newtown and all them others and everything else, well, everybody, if we let one get away with it, everybody's gonna move in there.
Well, we have an ordinance and we have a planning commission that now will be more effective on anything like
Okay.
that.
Yeah, but we've got 3 trailers grandfathered in.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, there was 3 of them grandfather lived in the trailer. But what I want to know is when was the ordinance done? It was done before,
The ordinance on the single wide trailer was done my first term.
Okay.
that year. So
and
it's
that's a
been
long time
at least
before
over 4
these
years.
2 went in there, is what I was trying to get at.
Yeah,
It's been well, that was 8 years ago.
yeah, at least.
Okay, if it was on your first time, whenever you was in here, the ordinance has been there, then he's went against the ordinance of this city. I'm not trying to cause nobody no problems or nothing, I'm just trying to,
It is not.
huh?
It's on footers.
It's on footers,
They moved it and put it on the footers, on concrete footers.
they put it on a brick old block like they do
On
any
the
trailer.
outside. On the outside it is.
On the first trailer they have.
I don't know which one you're,
Well, there's
The
2
first
trailers
one.
sitting there, one on the very first top of the hill and one on the second one that's coming down. But when he moved in there, you said, I asked you, and you said it was a storage building because your husband went up there and got a ladder
I
out.
sure did.
If it's a storage building, then there's a lot of things going on
I
at
have
night.
called and asked the man if it's still a storage building or not. I mean, I
You
don't,
know,
I don't know.
I don't wanna cause, I like the man, I don't wanna cause him no trouble, but I want him to go by the ordinance of this city. And if we let him do it,
That's why I put it
That's,
on
that's
footers
like
and
the
put
man
it-
over yonder on Hill Street down there, at the end of it, had that storage building and has people living in it, and then went up there and told him he couldn't live in it. And which that was right. What's the difference between the man on Hill Street and one up on,
Because that did not have 2 entrances. It could not pass inspection. You have to have an entrance.
And an exit.
Mm-hmm. And it's sure not on footers.
What's that got to do with the trailer?
I just explained that.
No, you didn't explain it to me. That trailer was backed in there by a tractor. pickup truck had tandem wheels under it. It had a tongue on it. They backed it in there, jacked it up, leveled it up, and put block under it.
And took the wheels off.
And took the wheels off and the tongue off of it.
So it was a prefabbed house? a
No,
small
well, it was
house
a trailer.
body?
It was a trailer, it was on
Okay.
wheels.
It was a single wide trailer.
It was a single wide trailer. And
Well,
had a violation of the code.
So, I don't know.
I don't know either, but I don't know if you could go up there and look at it, if they can go up there and look at it or something. I like the gentleman. I don't wanna cause him no problems. Only thing, like I said, I just want to go by what's on the city charter and all the rules and regulations. If we let one do it, you gotta let everybody do it. And like I say, I don't wanna cause nobody any heartaches or anything. I know we pay good money for them things and everything else. But the city has got an ordinance to go by.
This was 2 years ago, wasn't it? This is 2 years ago.
Well, she gave me where he took out the permits and everything.
He,
2 years ago.
And
he did it under the tiny house rules
At the time we had,
at the time.
so things have changed since 2 years ago, that you guidelines to, yeah,
Well-
our guidelines.
now, we had tiny house rules.
Not at that time he brought that in, though. Well, we did, it stayed
Well,
tiny house.
like Junior says,
Well, what do you suggest that we do?
I don't know, but I
mean,
think we
it was
ought to
2
look
years
at it.
ago, before we had the new ordinances and the new,
Well, now,
so what do you suggest we have the man do? It's been
Well,
there for 2
when he backed
years.
it in there, we had the old charter.
But it was so now that it is
No.
there and it's 2 years old,
He said the charter was made before, in his first year.
so what do you suggest that we do then?
Well, the tongue back on, pull it out and get rid of it.
So you think that's what we should do?
well,
Let him put the tongue back on it and have it removed. Put the tires back on it, move it out.
That's 2 years ago.
Huh?
well, I know
It
it's
fell under the
I know
guidelines,
it's
but
too
there's- it's set in there, so there's not anything, we can't make the man move it. I mean,
Okay, now, I wanna
I
ask
don't
you
think-
this
How
right
much
here.
it cost to make him move out?
All right, my daughter's got 3 lots up there.
Yes,
And if I decide to go up there and back one in on one of them lots,
we have ordinances and we have a planning commission that you have to go before you can do anything like that now.
Now,
Did he?
no,
We
he
did not
didn't.
have it in place at that time.
We had an ordinance that says no
A
trailer
single
up
wide
there.
trailer.
Yes,
This is as a
Prefab.
prefab home.
Now, up here on the corner,
well, I'm getting two different.
right across from
It's
the,
a prefab
Yeah,
home.
Catholic
prefab
church.
home on the first, and I watched him put the stuff in there. The 2x4s, the insulation and all that stuff. If it was prefab, that would all come in there, cause if you remember, I talked to you about that at the time.
It fell under
And
prefab.
I was told by him that you give him permission to move it in there.
She's
I
never
had-
talked to him.
I've
Kathy's
never even talked to him. But there's a different, it's a
Well,
difference in prefab,
okay,
and that was 2
then
years
I'll go
ago.
up there and ask him, and like I say, I like the gentleman, but I'm just gonna say, you said that you never did talk to him, and he told me right out of his own mouth that you give him permission to put that one up there.
Well, now that they're there, the situation is, as this council, he put that in 2 years ago. Before we had a planning commission and before we had
He
ordinances
moved one in
covered.
there 2 years ago,
yeah, but 4 years ago,
2
he
years.
said, he just got through saying the charter was made about trailers
Yes,
in
it
his
was.
first term.
About 8
That's
years
8 years ago. What's 2 years got to do with it?
So it's been sitting there how long, and what is your suggestion that we do as a council to?
Over his agreement, what he said.
Uh-huh.
He said the charter was changed,
That's
no
not a-
trailers.
That's not a solution to what's going on.
Well,
The charter's not a
No,
solution?
all right, it's been done, so what solution do you have to, move the trailer or follow the guidelines? Or what suggestion do you have, since the other trailer's been there, what, a year now?
They're over you.
Over a year,
That
so one
person
trailer's
has.
been there over
Yeah.
2 years.
Well,
The
if
next-
it's been there a year, he's a violation of the code.
So what suggestion do you have?
Let him move it out.
You want him to move it out?
But he got permission under the old ordinance.
Of the old one, it's not before you're 8 years old. And,
No, he got permission to do it as a tiny home.
oh God, here we go again. Building is a tiny home. That's not gonna work. I'll call the state of Tennessee in here.
Okay.
If he takes it and puts somebody in jail,
For
violation of the code.
whatever. I mean, I want a solution to this situation.
We don't need a solution, we should go with
Yeah.
Well, if
you
it,
got a charter to go by.
Well, it's
Yes,
gonna
we
be
do.
months, years, and thousands of dollars to fight him. So, you'll
And
be
he's already
long
gone.
out of office before
Oh,
he gets solved.
no, we're not gonna fight over it. Just move the trailer out and be done with it.
I think he's gonna have a say otherwise on that. He's already talked to a lawyer about it.
If you're gonna let him get by with it,
This city seems like they're afraid of lawyers, because that, we went through the same thing on this church up here. Well, you can't sue him, he's a lawyer, or he sues you, he'll say he sues the
We
city.
don't have the
and
money
stuff.
to fight.
Huh?
We don't have the money to fight
Well,
legal
what the
things like
heck
that.
are we doing sitting here at this table arguing for? I don't want to
Best you
cost
can.
that man another nickel.
The best
up
you
there.
can, I mean,
Yeah, the best you can. But I don't want to cost that man another nickel. I know it's expensive and
Right.
stuff and everything. But I was just gonna try to go by the charter and everything, what was in there and everything.
well,
That we
remember
give
we
him-
paid $2,000 a month for a lawsuit? That will never probably be paid off by the city.
Well, that's not a discussion right now.
But I'm saying,
But
you
the,
don't have
but
the
the
money
thing
to
about
fight
it
those
of it
things.
is that, you
Oh,
know,
you took
like
that
I
law.
say, I wish there was some of the
the
solution we
lawsuit
could
with
come
Paul
up.
Hunter is $2,000 a month. And
the
we'll-
judge let him get by with it
No,
down there.
that was the
Well-
decision of the judge of the
The
lawsuit.
judge sat there and let him get by with it.
Well,
made
that's
the
beside the
decision.
point.
Pink slip, red, and they said age.
Well, we
The
lost.
lawyer
so-
said age.
We lost, the city lost, no matter what the pink slip said.
Well, they've
So-
not asked me to get on the jury anymore.
That's $2,000 a month until eternity and all that. So, we will look into
I wish there
the,
was a simple solution.
It's,
we will
it's
look at,
tricky.
yeah, it very well is, so we can go back and, you know, it's been there almost 2 years and he got a permit and this week, before we had any really guidelines or anything of that nature, planning commission or code enforcer. So, we
Yeah,
will look
If
into
he
it.
was,
You can't go on somebody's property and move
No.
move it because,
no, you can't,
but we can go
I
back
mean-
and looking into it.
but, I wish there was some little simple solution we could come up with.
Well, it's been placed and from there, we'll have to,
What's that? Big Wall Street.
it's been placed. Thank goodness we have ordinances and the planning commission and code enforcement that will follow through now. That's why we've worked diligently to put things in place, so things like this can't happen, or shouldn't happen.
See, you guys have worked hard to put those in place,
So,
so this stuff stops.
do all that. So, with that, is there any other discussion?
They're gonna unload this on you.
Is there any other discussion? If not, do I?
Yeah.
Oh, Garrison, do you need to?
No, I just came back to observe, yeah.
Unless he was. With that
He's with that's Garrison Sisson.
citizen, yeah, yeah.
All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make the motion.
Motion's been
I
made.
second it.
Motion's been made and second. All right. leave it
on the
alone.
paperwork, and the ordinances, and so he took it into
But you didn't read the charter before you started.
the charter to his lawyer.
Well, he went
And
under
his
the
lawyer
tiny
said he
house.
can sue us.
How?
Go ask his lawyer.
On the tiny houses, I think so.
Yeah.
Tiny house.
Because they took the wheels out from under it, that makes it the same as a free
Bad home.
modular home.
Well, I
If the
know you
wheels are
can
left on
buy,
it with a ton, that's a mobile home. If the wheels and tons take off, that's prefab home. That's in the Tennessee guidelines.
No.
Well, you know what.
I stepped on my back porch and walked the truck back in there with the ton attached to the
yeah,
truck.
they took them
To a
off.
It's in there.
Well, how else would they get it in there?
Well,
Yeah, I'm gonna pull a trailer in up my house, take the wheels off, and jack it up to rock under.
Well, then it will be well, you can't now because we have guidelines that you voted on and it passed, so now we have guidelines. So,
I was just thinking about. No, I mean, I'm not saying anything about that. I was just thinking about asking him to see him. Strong.
I imagine so.
put it in there, so I mean, what's in there?
Hey, you go to school in this building?
No.
I did.
So,